Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, November 1st, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I will start with this kind of a big picture of the daily chart, the 277.76 channel top. We came very close to testing actually on Monday. Did not test it, but we came close to it. And the day we tested it, we fell back to close bearish, to close negative rather, on the day. This is a better vision of it. And that was a new high following the August low. And in fact, we even took out the July high, as I recall. So we had new highs. We closed negative on the day. We came very close to testing channel resistance. Big picture does allow longer term, and by that I mean 3 to 5 weeks bearish rotation to 214.71 channel support. Now, I'm not expecting it outright, but I do think you can trade it. You can prepare for it. Now, I know we're appreciable distance from that upper 270s now, but if we were to push back into it, it is an area to sell, allowing for then bearish rotation within 3 to 5 weeks into the 210s, 214.71. What we are anticipating, and this has been playing out really, this week. I can go back to this, I think, is a better image. I'll get back to that other one in a moment. But, we put out the high on Monday. Closed negative on the day after nearly testing channel resistance. And then on Tuesday, we closed below this simple trend line and below the low of the high. And that in itself is a sell signal. So as we've been saying, we are bearish for the week, through the rest of the week into next week below 262.23. And that is an area we've been holding to for the last few days. We rallied back and tested it on Wednesday, fell away obviously on Thursday. 238.57 remains our 1 to 2 week target. With Thursday's volatility, we could see this over the next 2 to 3 days, potentially today, if we were to violate, that is to say, break or open below this rising 1/3 speed line at 247.19. And so if we break or open today below 247.19, I think you can anticipate 238.57 intraday, where we could bottom out through next week perhaps, and that is the 2 to 3 week time frame, not the 3 to 5 week time frame, but the 2 to 3 week time frame is buying 238.57 and selling 277.76, and that even means selling short 277.76 if that's something you're adept at doing. Once again, holding below 277.76 does allow 214.71 as a 3 to 5 week possibility. And if over the next few days we close below 238.57, that is a clear-cut objective for 214.71 within 1 to 2 weeks, where we could bottom out into possibly through December trade and round up again. So big picture is selling, and by that I mean through November, selling the upper 270s and climbing, buying the mid 210s and climbing. And inside of all that, we have these pivot points, the most notable of which is our downside 3/8 Fibonacci from the August low against this week's high. And that is 238.57, remains a 1 to 2 week objective below 262.33. And let's just call it an intraday objective if we break or open today below 247.19, where we can at 238.57, bottom out through next week, round back up to 262.23 within a week or two, and perhaps all the way back to the 277.76 formation within 2 to 3 weeks. Talking upside today, I've got 257.09, simple 3-day descending channel top that does offer a pivot point to the upside, but only to 262.23. But I think it's strong enough where you can sell it, day traders. And then if you go short at 257.09, you can hold out for 247.19. You could trade inside this 10-point range really for a good part of the day. You could also buy outright 247.19 and hold out for 257.09. Pushing through 257.09 does signal 262.23. 262.23 is the trend line once again, and it is right at the low of the high, which I think is 262.24. So if we close today above 262.23, that does reverse short-term momentum. Over the following 2 to 3, 3 to 5 days, we should then reach the 277.76 channel top, where we can top out once again through November, and from there fall back into the mid 210s within 3 to 5 weeks. If we were to close above 277.76. And the same formation, by the way, in the weekly chart is 275.81. So if we were to close above 277.76, that does indicate a bullish continuation really through the rest of the year, because on the weekly chart, I would expect 316.11. This could be a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week move, and 335.74 by the end of the year, within 5 to 8 weeks of closing above 277.76. The same formation on the daily chart would expect 335.74 within 1 to 2 months. So it's not going to happen today, but I'm kind of prepping you that in the event over the next week or two we close above 277.76, no good reason to be short Tesla. You want to be long Tesla through the rest of the year, then anticipating this long-term resistance at 335.74. Until then, you can play the short side in the upper 270s and climbing. Can I say that you were given the chance on Monday? I'm not going to go that far. That's not fair, but we did come pretty darn close to it on Monday, and we have fallen away since. And in the process, we closed below the low of the high, which is now represented by the trend line at 262.23, 238.57, a 1 to 2 week target, possibly 214.71 by the end of November. And yes, over the next 1 to 2 weeks, 214.71 expected if we close today below 238.57. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We put out another stock pick on Thursday, and that was in, and I don't know why. When we look at the stock picks that we're going to do, my son and I actually go through about a dozen candidates in about a 15-minute Zoom call, and we go through all the charts. And even though I cut the video 2 hours ago, I presently forget, it blanks out on me which one of the 12 we chose. But you can see it all, and it's very relevant. We did 2 this week. Cadence Design Systems, I know, on Tuesday. God, the name escapes me. Anyway, and another one on Thursday. They are both, they look for 20, the one that we did on Thursday is a 40% potential return with a buy signal. And I give you all the conditions. You can see it for free, wickedstocks.com, 5-day free trial, daily Triple Q, daily SPY, weekly Apple, etc., etc. You get it all. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.